Welcome to Side Boob, the podcast that dives deep into the chaotic world of combat sports and YouTuber news, where legends are made and controversies unfold. Here, we break down the fiercest fights, dissect the latest trends in martial arts, and explore the wild world of YouTube personalities that shape our entertainment landscape. Join us as we bring you exclusive insights, expert interviews, and highlight the untold stories behind the athletes and creators who capture our attention.
And we have Jon Jones as the heavyweight champion, so if anything, it's just on brand for a champ at the moment. But
do you want to talk about Aspinall real quick?
Oh yes, I forgot about that. So
did you?
I actually did, yeah. So yeah, like, do you know what I find funny with all this is that, like, I kind of touched on it there, is the weird relationship that Jon Jones has had with the UFC and Dana White
over the years, right?
Yeah, like Dana White has had so many reasons to just hate on Jon Jones. Like, you've brought my company into disrepute so many times, and you know, you've not defended your title at certain times, like the Chael Sonnen thing when he chose not to fight him, all that stuff. Like, he has so many reasons not to like Jon Jones, but for whatever reason, right now in every interview, Jon Jones is the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time. Yep.
Yeah, which I do agree with. But what I don't agree with is the pound for pound. Jon Jones is not the pound for pound best in the UFC right now. Like,
who do you think? Islam?
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone that's not fought for 2 years can be considered in the pound for pound list. Like, I don't think that's fair. Like, because how do we know what Jon Jones looks like in a ring now? Even against Cyril Gane, it wasn't a good representation of what Jon Jones will look like at heavyweight, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, because Cyril is just so overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like his striking style, Cyril, but he seems like he's not into UFC at the moment, like MMA. Like, he doesn't seem interested in it. And again, that's not an excuse, but the way how he got took down so easily against Jon Jones, it almost, I'm not saying it was, but it almost looked fixed, like, with how easy it looked. And again, that might be the skill set of Jones. But this is my point, is, like, I struggle saying Jones is a pound for pound when he's only beat one person in the division that he's in.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair thing to say. And that person lost to the person who had the belt before. So,
yeah.
You know, it's a very fair assessment. But if you want to look at these pound for pound, you got Islam. You have Alex Pereira, which, I mean, you could argue could be number one. I mean, he's had belts in 2 different weight classes, and he could probably go up to a third and challenge a lot of heavyweights. Do I think he'd
beat a few champions as well, Pereira, hasn't he? So I think that holds him. Oh no, but saying that, Makhachev beat Volk, so kind of evens them out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Would it be Islam? Because I think that you have to say Islam. He's or Pereira, in my opinion. Those are the 2 you'd have to say.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one
Jones
too.
Being third, I still think that's high for Jones right now. Because then, if you look at, like, so Leon Edwards and Bilal are both there. They've just fought each other, yeah?
I don't want to talk about that.
No,
that's the fight that we were, like, pissed off at how boring it was.
Oh, mate, I know, same here. Like, but like I say, right, so them 2 are both in that. They've just fought each other. And they've been, like, not the most active, but active enough to where they warrant that. Like, so if you look at Leon Edwards' wins, he beat Colby Covington, who was considered, like, the guy that wasn't the guy. And he beat Usman twice. So, and Usman was a genuine pound for pound. I think he was the top of the pound for pound list at the time. So them 2 make sense. Like, Sean O'Malley kind of makes sense with people. Like, he's just beat Aljamain Sterling, who I think, you know, he's a great competitor in his weight class. And he's... And Aljamain just beat Cejudo, so he kind of goes there off osmosis of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Volkanovski, he beat everyone in his division, including Holloway, and then only lost to Makhachev and then Topuria recently, who's also in that list.
Yep. Right.
And then you look at Aspinall. Aspinall's took out the whole of his division apart from Jon Jones and Cyril Gane, essentially. They're the only 2 he's not fought. He's not gone How long has all his fights been? About 2 minutes.
Blades, 1 minute.
I mean, yeah,
Pavlovich,
look
a
how
minute
ridiculous
9.
this record is.
Yeah, a minute 13 versus Tibera. That didn't count because he broke his leg against
Yeah.
Blades. Volkov, 3 minutes. Like, he doesn't fight very long.
That's what I mean. So it's hard to say just on Aspinall's record alone. Like, how can you compare that heavyweight record to Jon Jones just beating Cyril Gane once? And then you can also look at who did Jon Jones fight in the light heavyweights? Well, his last one was a life and death against Dominic Reyes. How's he looked recently? Not that good. You know what I mean? And then the one before that, Thiago Santos, was it? Yeah, Thiago Santos. He's just lost in bare knuckle boxing
right?
to Mike Perry. Yeah.
Oh, was that what
And
it
I
was?
think he's in PFL or something. Yeah. And then look, Anthony Smith. Like like Anthony Smith is in the boneyard. He's in the graveyard right now. Santos isn't even in the UFC. Reyes is in the graveyard right now. Gustav isn't in the UFC. And the first fight was mega close.
Can you say that he broke their careers? Is that something you could say?
Yeah, I think you could say that, yeah. Especially with Cormier. Well, not really, because Cormier went on to be heavyweight champ. Like, I think Gustafsson and Cormier were great wins, but they were long time ago.
Yeah,
like, even Glover, look, he's even got Teixeira. Like,
well, Teixeira eventually became the champ.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But now he's like retired, so it's like, how many people has he beat that are actually in any list? Like,
but that's a testament to his dominance. He's still around. They're gone. He's beat these people. They're not here anymore.
Yeah, but like I say, so Dominic Reyes, the ones that are still here, yeah, you could say he maybe broke him, but does it, even at the time of beating Reyes, does that equal a pound for pound great? Because Reyes did look good at the time, but I don't think that puts you as a pound for pound great.
Right. Was it Reyes or Santos that came up from middleweight and kind of? Well, it was
Santos.
Reyes, right? Oh, Santos.
Nah, yeah.
And even wasn't Anthony Smith was a middleweight at one point?
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people that he's fought were like undersized for the division as well. Like Chael Sonnen,
Vitor obviously was a
middleweight. He was a middleweight.
Rashad fought at middleweight. Machida fought at middleweight.
And Jackson, like, that was a good win. Rampage Jackson at the time, I think, was a great win. I forgot. God, he fought Rua as well. See, this is what's mad. Like, when I look back at his career, it is great because like there's Bader there, there's Shogun Rua. Like, it's not like he hasn't fought greats, but is it almost like a timing thing as well?
It's been so long since he's fought those guys too. But
that's it. So that's my thing with the pound for pound list. Is like, yeah, you can put him in your GOAT list all you want because that's really subjective. But I think pound for pound is less subjective. I think there is a bit more like statistics that you can point to for that because it's a current ongoing thing, isn't it? Whereas a GOAT list is just kind of who's your favourite, who do you prefer kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think pound for pound is like every single fight. There's going to be movement. Whereas GOAT, that's you got to look at that years at a time.
Yeah, that's it. And like you can even with the GOAT list, like I personally have like a steroid exclusion. So if you like Anderson Silva's not in my GOAT list, even though he's my favourite ever fighter, he's not in my GOAT list. Like same with Jon Jones. Yeah, because if you get popped, I think you're not allowed in my list anymore. Like, it's why Tyson Fury, I don't put him in great lists as well, because his whole time off with his mental health stuff coincided with a 2-year ban. So it's like, I just don't think in a sports like that, if you've done something that gives you such an advantage, I don't think you get to go on my GOAT list personally. You know what I mean?
Sure. I just think, I guess I look at it a little bit differently. I feel like pre-2010, everybody was on steroids. So like once they brought in the USADA or whatever, and then now they're the WADA drug testing. Anything before that has its own category for me.
Yeah, true.
And then
True.
after that, like,
yeah,
if you popped
I mean,
after that, then I'll exclude you. But anything before that, that's fair game, man. That was the steroid era.
I suppose you're right with that, because I mean, there was only a few that didn't. Like, I think the Diaz brothers, their closest to that was marijuana, wasn't it? Like, and Mike Bisping famously didn't want to take nothing and lost an eye basically because of it. So
he toured Belfort, man, kicked his eye.
Yeah. So, it's kind of them stories as well, though. You still had guys in the 2010s that were honourable men and still would want to fight, like, without taking them, like Bisping, like the Diaz.
I won't say they didn't take anything. They just didn't take anything that was
illegal.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because obviously, like, they probably were taking things then that was totally legal then that probably wouldn't pass now, because it does change. So I'm not trying to say, like, they weren't taking any supplement at all, like, obviously. But, basically what I'm trying to say is even in the 2010 era, there was a lot of guys that still wanted to fight to the rule set and not try and like gain that advantage. Like, Bisping is the best example, I think, for that. Like, he knew he was going against roidheads and he didn't want to, and I find it so coincidental that he become a champion once the testing kind of come out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Once everybody shrunk.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say Bisping was a great or anything like that, but I think it was very telling once the playing field got evened out that he become a champion all of a sudden.
I think when you're talking about Bisping, just because he's been around for so long, but like I feel like his technique was like he had some of the most fundamental techniques.
Yeah.
He wasn't maybe the most athletic guy. He wasn't maybe the most strong, but his technique was phenomenal. He was a great Thai fighter, boxer, in the clinch. Like, he had really good technique. And I think that once we kind of tried to get all the steroids out, you could see he's good.
Yeah, that's the one thing, like, Bisping don't get much credit for, which I'm glad you said it, not me that said it.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of combat sports and beyond. We've seen the raw power of competition and the strange reality of social dynamics in our society. From fierce fighters in rings and octagons to the stark moments of influencers throwing money towards those in need, every story we explore reveals another layer of our complex world. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay connected and continue this adventure with us. As we delve deeper, we uncover the grittiness of combat sports, where determination meets skill under the spotlight. Simultaneously, we reflect on societal behaviors that raise questions about empathy and morality in our modern age. These contrasts remind us how intertwined our lives are with various narratives. Stay tuned for more insights and stories, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep this exciting exploration alive.